The Fed has left its key interest rate unchanged as it continues its mission to fight inflation. However, the Fed did make a change to projections of future rates, the central bank pricing in only one cut this year. Yahoo Finance's Alexandra Canal has more on the dot plot.
Yes, Brad, Wall Street is abuzz with the talk of the Fed and this dot plot, but it's not uncommon to feel a little bit confused when talking about this kind of data. So we wanted to break it down in a digestible way for viewers and answer this one question. What is the dot plot? And to put it simply, the dot plot is a chart that tracks each one of the 19 Fed officials' projections for the federal funds rate. And as you can see here, you'll have a collection of dots from 2024, 2025, 2026, and then longer term here. And essentially, this data is telling us where Fed officials think the Fed funds rate will be heading in the future. It's released only 4 times a year, usually at the end of each quarter, and each dot represents a specific FOMC member, but they are all anonymous. So this dot here, that could be Fed Chair Jerome Powell. This other one over here, that could be Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee. The whole point here is that we don't know. Now, if we zoom in to 2024, you'll see 4 Fed officials right up here. They think the Fed funds rate is going to stay where they are. We're currently in a range between 5.25% and 5.5%. So 4, they see that rates are going to be unchanged throughout the year. However, if we look a little bit lower, we see all of these Fed officials think that rates are going to come down. 7 believe that we're going to see 1 cut. 8 think we're going to see 2 cuts. And then if you aggregate the median, that is just 1 cut that is pricing in for this year. And again, this is just a projection from the Fed. And then turning over to 2025, one lone Fed official thinks interest rates are going to stay where they are, not come down at all. And then we have this guy all the way down here that's pricing in 10 cuts. And then you have a lot of dispersion here since it becomes a little bit more difficult to predict rates into the future since we don't have the economic data yet. So all of this may seem a little bit intimidating, but this can be a good tool to help you inform yourself about certain financial decisions. Of course, as we know, interest rates affect various investment areas, including mortgage rates, savings accounts, and treasury yields, among many others. But it is important to remember that this is just a projection. It's a guide of where Fed officials think interest rates should go. That doesn't necessarily mean that's where interest rates will go, but it is an important tool when we think about transparency, since the dot plot was first introduced in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, when many investors were nervous about the future path of interest rates. So the dot plot was created to give that transparency, and you can think of it as the Fed's crystal ball of sorts. But again, like I alluded to, there is plenty of criticism surrounding the use of the dot plot. Fed Chair Jerome Powell himself, he has tried to get people to understand that it is simply a projection and should not be taken as gospel, yet it does remain a highly anticipated release every single quarter. Brad.
All right, excellent breakdown. Thanks so much, Allie.